Hey everybody, and welcome to Tuesday's maths lesson. So the first thing we need to do is the counting stick.
Let's counting stick.
So this week we're going to be looking at the 2 times table. Okay, so let's get going. Right, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, 22, 24,
26.
26, good, okay. Right, now let's say it as the times table. So 1 times 2 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 2 is 8. 5 times 2 is 10. 6 times 2 is 12. 7 times 2 is 14. 8 times 2 is 16. 9 times 2 is 18. 10 times 2 is 20. 11 times 2 is 22, 12 times 2 is 24, 13 times 2 must be 26.
It's interesting that 10 times 2 is 20 and 2 times 10 is 20 as well, isn't it?
How very
How
interesting.
Mm.
Good thought. But let's not get into that right now, otherwise this will be a very long video. Right, so today, Mr. Lake, we are continuing with measuring things. Now, yesterday, obviously, we measured out our square piece of paper and you all made a lovely origami. So, when we're measuring things, Mr. Lake, we might use, what might we use to measure how long something is?
To measure how long it is. Well, you'd probably, you might use a ruler.
Yeah, we could use a ruler, yeah.
If I'm measuring things at home, for DIY that I so often do.
Oh yeah, you look like a DIYer to me, yeah.
I love it. I would use a tape measure. Oh, look at that.
Yeah, we might use a tape measure. So hopefully at home you've got a ruler or a tape measure. We often have in school meter sticks. I don't think anyone has these at home.
No.
But yeah, these are different ways for measuring how long something is or how wide. Okay, now when we're measuring, what units do we use?
You'd use centimetres.
Yes.
So that ruler is centimetres or metres, something bigger.
Okay, so when we're using centimetres, we're just going to write cm. Okay, or we could write metres. Do you remember at home how many centimetres are in 1 metre? Do you remember how many centimetres in 1 metre? Okay, it is 100. So if you look on here, this is 1 metre long and there's 100 centimetres in it. Okay, oh dear, what has happened here? Oh dear, never mind. There we go. Right, now, today everybody, we are going to be using either a ruler, which hopefully you should have at home, or you could use a tape measure if you have one at home. You probably don't all have one, but maybe some of you do, but a ruler will be fine. And we're going to be measuring our toys, Mr. Lake.
Ooh, how exciting.
How exciting. Okay, now, first of all, in your maths books, you're going to need to draw out a table using your ruler, okay? So it will look like this. So we're going to go 10 centimetres across and then 10 centimetres down. So we'll go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 across. Now, Mr. Lake, I want a line going down in the middle.
Mm-hmm.
So how many centres across will it be? If we've gone 10.
Well, half of 10 is 5.
Correct.
So you need to count 5.
You can count 5, or you can measure 5 with your ruler. Your squares should be 1 centimetre long. So about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then we'll carefully draw a line going down here. So again, we want this to be 10. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I've run out of space there, but 10. Now, Mr. Lake, if you just pick up the camera and we'll walk over to my squared paper over here, and then we'll show everyone how to use a ruler really nicely when we're doing this. Okay, so here is my piece of paper. Okay, so first of all, when I use my ruler, I want to just hold it nice. It's harder for you because you've got little hands, but I always like to hold it spread my fingers out and hold it really firm so it doesn't wobble and you get a nice straight line, okay? So I'll start there. I want to start from the end where it's the 0 bit. And I'm going to go all the way up to 10 centimeters. Starting there, holding this really firm, okay, up to the 10. Now you might need to practice this a bit. When you're getting used to it, it's very easy to wobble about a bit, okay? If you are wobbling, just practice and you'll get better, okay? Now we'll do another line going down and we'll make this 10 centimeters as well. So I'll just count, in fact, I'm going to measure 5 across because that is half of 10. And there is 5 centimeters here, just put a mark there. And now I draw a line going 10 centimeters down. So starting at the 0, I'm holding this as firmly as I can, okay? And we'll go down 10 centimeters, okay? Stopping, try and stop exactly on the 10, on where the line is exactly 10 centimeters, okay? Not halfway between, just exactly on the line. So now, can you see this nicely, yeah?
I need to zoom in.
Zoom in, right. So what I'm going to put here, you could write toys or you could write object. I mean, you could measure your toys or you could measure anything you have around your house. So I'm just going to put objects. So O-B-J-E-C-T-S. And then here I'm going to put length, okay? L-E-N-G-T-H, okay? So if we look here, I've got some objects. So the first object I've got is a calculator, okay? You might want to just get your toys, anything you want. And I'm going to measure how long it is. So I get that exactly at the end. If I just sort of have it there, it's not going to be right. So exactly on the 0.
From 0, not from 1.
Yeah, okay. And I can see that is 11 centimeters, okay? Okay, so I think you just round up to the nearest centimetre. So 11 centimetres. So I'm going to write here, my object is the calculator. Calculator. And it's 11 centimetres. Okay. My next object is this lovely sooty toy. Okay. So I will measure that. So I'll get my ruler next to it. I'll try and get it exactly on the 0 bit where the end is at the top of the object. And I can see if I go down here, the bottom of it is on the 24 centimeters. Okay, so I'm going to put here sooty. And sooty is 24 centimeters. Next, I'm going to go for my bubbles. So again, line it up very carefully. And I can see the bubbles are 12 centimeters. Okay. Bubbles. 12 centimeters. Lastly, I'm going to go for my chime from PSHE. Line it up nicely. Okay, and I can see that is coming up to 16 centimeters. Okay. So when you do this, I know I've done this a little bit quickly. That's because I don't want this video to be too long or you'll all get bored. But you need to do it really carefully and accurately. Okay. So there we go. I have, I've written it down. So I've done 4, that's enough. If you want to do more, that's fine. Maybe you want to challenge yourself. If you've got a tape measure, maybe you could challenge yourself jumping across your living room and see how far can you jump. That would be fun. Now, Mr. Lake, if we come back over to the board, please, and you can come back in shot. If you can just set the camera up. Okay, excellent cameramanning, which is not a word. Right, so I've got that here, so we'll fill this in. You know how to fill that in, right? Now, we have to write these in order from the longest thing to the shortest thing. Mm-hmm. So could you hold my bit of paper, Mr. Lake, and then we'll write it up here for you to see. So, Mr. Lake, what is the longest thing that I measured?
Sooty. That's the only thing that's above 20 centimetres.
Okay, so centimetres. Let's just put, I'm just going to write sooty. And sooty is 24 centimetres, okay? What was the next longest thing?
Well, I was thinking what I might want to do here.
You're going to want to go shortest next year?
No, I wasn't going to, I was going to tick it off.
Oh.
Because I always think that makes it easier, doesn't it? So I know, I've done that one. So now,
not just a hat rack. It's a good brain in there, yeah.
so next thing would be the chime, which was 16.
Chime, yes. Tick off chime then while
Yeah.
I write it down. This is really, I mean, our teamwork does make the dream work. It really
does,
does.
doesn't it? Yeah.
So chime is 16 centimetres. Lovely. What's next for us, Mr. Lake?
Now I've only got 2 to look at, calculator and bubbles, and there's only 1 centimetre in it.
Oh yeah.
The bubble pot thing was 12 centimetres.
Okay, so the bubbles was longer. Bubbles was 12 centimetres, and then the
Which means, yep, only the calculator left. That was the shortest at 11 centimetres.
Lovely. Okay, so there we go, and we've put them in order, haven't we? From the longest down to the shortest.
Nicely
Lovely.
done.
Okay. Right, so I want you to do this. So you're going to be doing the table like I did, then you're going to put your things from longest to shortest, okay? Okay, now you might want to pause it now while you make sure you've got all that done, and then I'll show you the next bit when you're ready. Okay, so hopefully you've done your table, you've written the things in order from longest to shortest. The next thing I want you to do is we're going to use these symbols, okay, to help us compare our numbers.
We've seen those before, haven't we, Mr. Fed?
We have, okay, and some of you might be saying something about a crocodile eats the biggest number, hopefully, yeah. Okay, so that's how we use these. So we've got, this one means less than, this one means more than, and this one is equal to. That is right, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. I always get worried I'll say the wrong thing on a video, which would be terrible.
It would, wouldn't it?
Quite actually, I have done that a few times. Right, so Mr. Lake, now, if we look, let's look at our objects. So which ones shall we compare?
I'd like to compare the chime and the calculator.
Right, the chime and the calculator. So let's go the chime. We'll say the chime, which is 16 centimetres.
Yep.
And then we've got over here, we've got the calculator. How long was the calculator?
It was 11.
So it was 11 centimetres.
11 centimetres, I forgot to say centimetres.
Okay, so we've got to think, right, okay, so the biggest one there is
The chime?
the chime. Okay, so we're going to put that there. So our big crocodile's mouth is munching up the biggest number.
It's a greedy crocodile. It wants to eat
Yeah.
people, but doesn't it?
Much like me, I always want the biggest piece of pizza. Don't I? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, right, there we go. So there we go, we've got the biggest number. Now the most really important bit, I want you to practice saying this number sentence. So Mr. Lake, can you read this number sentence to me?
Yeah.
So
I could say the chime is more than the calculator,
good.
or I could say the chime is greater than. Sometimes we say greater than,
Yeah.
don't we? So the chime is greater than the calculator.
Exactly.
Or 16 centimetres is greater than 11 centimetres.
Fantastic. Okay. Now let's do one more. Let's look at Sooty and the Bubbles, shall we?
Sooty and the bubbles.
So this time I'm going to put the bubbles first. So we just go down. So I just extend the page. There we go. So let's. Oh dear me. Never mind. Yeah, lovely. Right. So let's put the bubbles. So bubbles. How long were the bubbles, Mr. Lake?
12 centimetres.
12 centimetres, and then Sooty, I remember, was 24, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, Sooty was 24 centimetres. Okay, so where's our biggest number there, Mr. Lake?
24.
24.
Sooty.
So the crocodile is going to be munching up the bigger number. And so we could say the bubbles are less than Sooty.
Yep.
Or, yeah.
12 centimetres is less than 24 centimetres.
Lovely. Okay, and I'd like you to just write down a few of those, compare the things that you have measured.
And of course, though, one thing, we didn't have to use the equals, did we? Because all of our objects were different lengths, weren't they?
Yeah.
But say they've both been 12 centimetres.
Yeah, actually, because the bubbles and the calculator were very similar. So let's, in fact, actually, I should have had, wait, please, wait. You're never going to guess. This is something I prepared earlier. Okay, so the calculator here. Now, here's my glue stick, right? Why did I say calculator? Anyway, my glue stick
Easily
here.
confused.
That glue stick, how long is that, Mr.
It
Lake?
is exactly 12 centimetres.
12 centimetres, which is the same as our bubbles, okay? So this is a very interesting one. Okay, so we've got the bubbles, 12 centimetres, and then we've got the glue is 12 centimetres. So,
Yeah, well they're the same. No number is more than or less than the other number, is
Yeah.
it? So they must be.
oh, I've done that a bit wrong. Hang on. They've done, so they are
They must be equal.
equal to,
The
okay?
same.
And you can say the bubbles are, 12 centimetres is equal to 12 centimetres.
That's true, isn't it?
12 equals 12, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Same thing.
Correct.
Right, have fun with this. Pick up lovely toys and things to measure. Maybe you want to measure a jump, I don't know. Enjoy it. Be really careful with your rulers or tape measures if you're using them.
Start from 0.
Yes, we can't wait to see how you do.
See you later.